Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome to another round of coffee and questions. Today we're going to talk about Harbor Freight's magnetic tool holder. And is it a good buy? Make a long story short, I'd give it about a rating on a scale from 0 to 10. I'd give it about a 5, 6, somewhere in there. And the reason why is a lot of times these are given away for free. Sometimes they're on sale, or the regular retail prices like I'm showing you here in the picture at $4.99. Okay, so regarding these reviews, you got 2,998 reviews, and everybody's calling it, well, it's 4.5 star. Now, I don't put a lot of weight on these reviews. I've seen reviews sometimes where the comment's generic and it's posted on more than one tool or one item exactly the same. So a lot of these reviews, I mean, I read them and see if I agree or not. And I've got a friend that uses these on a pegboard. So, I mean, I have some experience on whether or not these are, a good buy or a bad buy. They're not going to hold anything heavy. I mean, in the picture you see where this guy's got a crescent wrench and stuff hanging from it. If it does, it's going to fall. It's just a little too heavy for the magnet. Now, I'm not saying the magnet's incredibly weak, but it's not the strongest magnet. If you need something that's got, more hefty, beefy, locking power, then you might want to look on Amazon, and you're going to pay more money for it. These are good for really light tools and light items. I mean, they work fine. I dug into the comments a little bit more. Let me show you something real quick, and then we'll continue a quick discussion on this. Okay, so here's a quick recap on that star rating of the 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. 99% of the customers would recommend this item. Yeah, I would recommend it, but as long as you know it's for lighter items. I mean, now, out in the friend of mine's garage, and I actually went and got a couple. I haven't mounted them yet, so we'll talk about that in a second, but it's great. I wanted to put it, in my shop by my drill press. I can just stick drill bits up on there real rapidly, and the drill key, for the chuck. So I knew what I was buying it for, and I knew that it would work, but it's not going to hold, like I said, a lot of heavy items. Now, the other thing about these, which is kind of cool, on each end, there's a hole, so you can mount this real quickly and easily. Another way you can do this is either with a small bolt, or while you're out at Harbor Freight, pick up some of that CA glue or epoxy. You can put one magnet on back of another, so you can stick it to like the inside of a tool chest lid or on the side of your work cart. Now, if you do that, I would tell you, let the glue set up real well, and realize that it's not magnetized on both sides. So that's the reason why you would have to put one sticking, to the other. Now, that's one way to accomplish it. And I saw a picture, and I'll throw up a couple here in a minute, where the guy didn't want to do that, so he drilled a hole through his toolbox lid and bolted it. You could do that. I don't want to do that on my toolbox. I don't want to drill holes and bolt anything through the lid. I would probably just buy the additional one and put them together, like I said. So that's one way of doing it. Now, another way is like on a wall. If you want to hang something that's a little bit heavier, if you space them like apart from each other, like let's say 4 to 6 inches, you put one above the other, you're going to get twice that magnetic power, and it'll probably stick and do fine. That's the reason why I bought a few of these while I was out there, is I have another area where I'm going to do that, and then I'll space them apart so that they're able to hold a little bit heavier of a tool. Okay, so question, popped up in here. In one of the forums, would we recommend buying these? Well, yeah, I would recommend buying them as long as you know what the limitations are. And if you want something, like I said, stronger, do an Amazon search. There's plenty of them, but you're going to pay, 3 and 4 times the amount of $5. To get the, more heavy duty ones. But these work fine for what they are. A lot of times, like I said, they're either a giveaway, use your 20% coupon, whatever. When they go on sale, definitely take a look at them. Now the other thing you can do is when I was over at the friend of mine's, he took these rare earth magnets. He had some laying around, a little epoxy, and put them on the back of these, because like I said, the backs are not magnetized. So with that, now he's able to put them on his toolbox, wherever he wants. So it's good for that. So you can modify it a little bit without, putting a bunch of money into it, and they'll work totally fine. Okay, a question on here, the magnet. Okay, so look, yeah, the magnet's in like a metal channel, okay, and it's not magnetized on the other side. So the question is, why not just remove the magnet from the channel? You could probably do that. It's not something that I've tried. I mean, maybe if somebody else has done it, they'll drop a comment below. I suppose you could do that. I just think it's a hassle and kind of a pain in the butt. And I don't know if you would break the magnet trying to get it out. So, I mean, look, you know, when they're on sale for a couple of bucks or whatever, pick up 2 of them and space them if you can do it. But that's just my quick thought. Question, can they be used for welding? Yeah, sure. I mean, who cares for a few bucks? I mean, if you damage them. Now, I use the larger red ones that they sell out at Harbor Freight. I mean, but yeah, you could probably use these to hold steel together, you know, to tack weld and stuff like that. I don't see why not. Well, the other ones I bought, I'll show you some pictures here in a sec, make a quick comment. I won't make it a long video. You know, you can put it above your workbench, like in a series of rows or anything that you want. They'll hold driver bits, drill bits, they'll hold sockets. I mean, they're strong enough to hold a socket. So they're strong enough to hold a lot of lightweight things. It'll hold a pair of scissors like in the picture, or a can opener in the picture. You know, saw blades like in the picture, yeah. You know, real lighter, you know, kind of open end wrenches, yeah. But you start getting into these crescent wrenches and stuff like that, it may have stuck for the photograph. It's not the best thing. I mean, to think that you're going to put channel locks and heavier, you know, pliers and stuff like that on there, you're going to be disappointed. Okay, I'll change a picture, show you a couple things that other people have done. Give me just a quick sec. Okay, let's take a look at the picture above me. Now, this is kind of like what a friend of mine did, but this picture is off of the web. He's got a pegboard, and he has these like rows of them on there, and he managed to attach lighter weight things to them. Now, you'll see here where it's holding up the needle nose and stuff like that. It'll probably do that without a problem. On his, he uses, like I said, all the lighter weight stuff and just tacks them up there above his workbench. These are things that he uses frequently. Reaches up, pulls them down, uses them, puts them up there. They're off the workbench, they're out of the way and back on the pegboard. That's a good idea if you've got the pegboard. Not something that I have, but it is a good idea. Now, the one over on the right, you can see where I said the guy bolted it into the lid of his cart. Now, I'm not saying don't do it. Maybe that's something you want to do. It's not something that I wanted to do I've got a nice Homac toolbox. I'm not going to do that to it. But maybe you've got, you know, some inexpensive cart or something, and this would work for you to be able to do it like you did here in the picture. Those little magnetic trays, I get them all the time for free, usually out at Harbor Freight if we're buying something. I like those. Those come in real handy for me for nuts, bolts, and like a lot of little stuff. And I do keep those on a cheaper toolbox that I have on, you know, on the inside of the lid, just because I know where they're at. But most of the time, you know, they're out on my workbench. All right, let me change a picture and we'll wrap this up. Okay, now this one's a little bit more handy for somebody. I guess this guy makes his own fish hooks and stuff like that. So this would be ideal for something like this because of the lighter weight. But like I said, what I'm going to use mine for is I'm going to put it above my drill press or over to the side, and I might put one on each side so that I'm able to hang those drill bits and like driver bits and whatever else I'm using, and it'll come in real handy for that. So these are just some ideas for you to think about. It's not a bad value, it's not a bad buy. Just realize what, like I said, what its limitations are in terms of being able to hang something from it. And here's another idea, and I did it while I was out there. Here's the proof of it. Take the magnet and walk over to that aisle where they have all those Pittsburgh wrenches and tools. Test it out for yourself. You'll see what I mean, and you'll get an idea on whether or not it's going to work for you. That, to me, is the best way to figure this out before you walk out of the store with, you know, something that you've purchased. If I can get away with doing it, and it's easy to do with these magnetic strips, go test it out. That'll tell you what you're going to do and not do. Okay, I'm the Home Handyman. This was your quick tip of the week. If you're out there and you can find that these are handy, go ahead and pick some up. I hope you click subscribe. I hope you keep following me. And if you got a better use for these or something better, drop it in the comment below. I'll talk to you folks again soon. You have a great day. Bye-bye.